I got money on my mind. I'm just trying to get some dough. I ain't picking up my line unless it's money on the phone.
So we talking like, you know, growing a business, making sure you structuring properly and all these things. So I'm thinking of an entrepreneur, you know, somebody who maybe they just getting started. They got some profits. They're not really structured up yet. What would be your advice to them to like get started and make sure they staying on the right path?
I would say get a great EA or an accountant. An EA is an enrolled agent. That's what me and my wife had personally. An enrolled agent is the highest designation that you can receive with the IRS. EAs used to be really big back in the day. You don't hear about them as much anymore. If you find a good one, keep them. You don't hear about them as much as you used to. So we have an EA and we also have an accountant. We have both. Our EA is phenomenal. A lot of strategies like paying your kids on payroll, taking advantage of the family help. I wouldn't even call it an act. It's just a policy that you can do, really. Things like that, of that nature, like you can really leverage the knowledge of paying for a consultation with an accountant at any point. I think the biggest thing I would tell somebody who comes to me and we have a consultation and we sit down and they're struggling and going to the next level in business, I would say, God, it's hard. It's hard to say this because most people aren't willing to do it. Like, you have to be willing to let the Band-Aid be pulled back. And recognize and know that the solution that may take to heal it may not be something that you know how to do. We leverage our strengths. We outsource our weaknesses.
Talk to them.
Like, we leverage our strengths, but we outsource our weaknesses. And what that means is that I am an expert of the entire aspect of my business because I have an expert in that area of the business. I don't even have to pay them on payroll. I have them within my area and grasp that if his consultation is $150 an hour, I know I'm gonna get everything I need in that $150 an hour to implement in my business. If this is an accountant, if this is what he does, he's an expert in his field. Let me bring in an expert. That, let's say it's a trucker, for example, or logistics, if you will. I'm not an expert in taxes. I'm an expert in logistics. I'm gonna go get somebody that's an expert in taxes. I'm not an expert in HR. I'm gonna either go get a payroll platform that has an HR solution, a part of it, or I'm gonna hire part-time a SHRM certified specialist. That's the highest designation when it comes to HR, who knows about hiring and firing folks, who can run whatever technology that I put in place for the business, because that is that individual's expertise. I'm gonna go and find the experts for the business. Really, the secret to having a 7-figure business is having systems that are set up and conducive to be used by experts within their own area of expertise and craft to make sure that, like tentacles, every arm is strong within the business. There's no weak points. There's no joints that can easily be broken in the business because there's an expert that's over that department. And now with technology and the platforms that we have now, you don't have to have all areas connected totally. You can have an expert in the area who don't know anything about another individual that you have working for your company. They're just an expert in their field. And somebody who's just starting out that has a little bit of profit or some bit of profit, I would start with a strategist. So let me break this down. So like the difference between now, when you look on social media and you look at these folks, you have folks who are strategists, you have folks who are consultants, you have folks who are coaches. I'm all three depending on what the client may need. A strategist sits down with you on a discovery call. I'm a strategist. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that you want based off of your questionnaire. What is it that you're looking for? And I'm beginning the process of saying that's where you should go. I may not be the best fit for you. Somebody else may be the best fit. I'm going to point you to that individual. That's a strategist. Or I'm going to point you to, hey, you should try Dubsado. You should try Acuity. You should try LinkedIn Sales Navigator to get more clients in your coaching business. Like, you should get in the group chats, whatever. Strategist. I'm not really making you do anything. Yeah. I'm an outside pair of eyes looking and like, okay, this is where I see you can boom, boom, boom and make something better. I'm giving you the directions to get there. When I'm a consultant, I'm sitting with you instead of saying, hey, a strategist says, hey, it's at the light, turn left, you'll be there. As a consultant, I'm pulling out that map with you. I'm sitting down with you with that map and saying, hey, you see this right here? You're going to bust a left over there. You're going to see that stoplight. When you get to that stoplight, you're going to it's only like 40 miles per hour. So don't go through there flying. Yeah. Take your time when you go through there. Like, that is a consultant. Like, this is the processes. This is how you should get there. And I promise you, you'll get there. Oh, and by the way, when you get there, here's my phone number. Tap in. I want to make sure you get there. I want to make sure you get to your goal. A coach, I'm telling you where to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing you how to get there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting in the car with you to make sure that you get there.
Accountability.
Accountability. A coach is literally, I'm walking that thing out with you. Like I'm gonna be, and a coaching package, to break that down, a coaching package, guys, may be $5K. It may be $10K. But if that $5K or $10K package ends up making you $1 million in your first year,
will you be mad?
It was worth it.
Yeah.
A consulting package may be a 2 hour. I charge $300 for a 2 hour consultation, but you may take that play and run with it and run it up. You may make $30K. It is what it is. A strategist may be a 20-minute discovery call to find out if that's even a fit, or first and foremost, is this even something you really should be doing? As your heart, are you really ready for what comes with this? I think once we look at it from that focal point, and my wife really shared that with me, she's absolutely phenomenal what she does. Once I really understand more what she did from a coaching standpoint and the different avenues of being an entrepreneur for 4 years, I started to understand, okay, how this is where I'm at as a consultant. And then when I started Boone and Associates, this is how we're going to be as coaches.
I'm glad you're breaking down the differences in the phases of it, bro. Because, like, you know, a lot of times we think of like all these different people talking about helping you in business. We don't really see the different aspects of it, like a strategist. So I like that you broke that down, and I really want to like talk about it some more, because what you talking about right now is something that's so crucial and so pivotal. And we spoke on it before, was like the lack of Black business owners really wanting to invest in that business into those types of people, like really wanting to take that time and putting that money up. We had a guest, episode 78, Tyron McDaniel. The name of the episode is Invest in Expertise, and he was sharing a message similar to what you're saying. It's like, you can't build a business off free game in YouTube University. You can come and read on Black Wealth Renaissance all day, but you can go watch YouTube videos all day. But you, at one point, if you want to see traction, growth, and all that, you're going to have to invest in somebody like my brother's saying, a consultant, a coach, somebody who has a grander vision than you, because as an entrepreneur, it's easy to get tunnel vision. Whenever you're the one that's really trying to do the work and trying to figure out everything with your business, you may not see something that somebody with an outside pair of eyes can see. And we really need to like get into that bag more, just like investing in people. I think one thing that's so important that you share on that point of getting back and investing in the people is you're investing in the results. Like, I think we kind of look at it as I can't pay somebody $5,000 to sit with me for 7 weeks, or like one of my 12K packages. So I can't pay somebody $10K to sit with them for 14, 16 weeks. But it's like, don't you hate your job? Ooh.
Ain't you tired of like having to spend a year making only $35,000 a year? Like, you got to kind of look at it that standpoint and say, I'm not investing in, I am investing in a person's company, but more so I'm investing in my own future. I'm investing in my own expertise, and I'm investing in the credibility of what this person has and does, that I've seen what they can do for another client. That can be me too. A lot of the times what happens in, what happens in these like early stages, couple of weeks of a coaching package that a client may come to me for, or whatever, is I'm really working on giving them the expertise that they need in their area, but I'm trying to convince them that they're worth it.
I could believe that, bro.
I'm trying to convince them that, hey, you can charge this for your expertise. You are worth this. Like, that is a lot of our businesses. We really don't know our own worth and identity in our business. Even with the owners, you're early on trying to work on that part from a coaching standpoint with those individuals. Most times the consultations are with folks who are already high net worth individuals, but the business blew up so fast. COVID happened and things, boom, bigger than we could have expected, or a huge growth spurt, or you secured your first government contract and you need a purchase order now for $1 million to be able to secure the contract. Like, whatever the case may be, like, now we're having a conversation to aggressively in that consultation get to the solution that you need to secure the bag. But those coachings, like, that is where you're really getting into the nitty gritty. And that's the beautiful thing I was telling you too, is that you as a consultant or a coach, your credibility rests on like your first big client. Like, it really having your first 7-figure, 6-figure client, 6 figures huge, but like your first 7-figure client, because we think a mil is so much, it's not really a lot.
In the grand scheme of things.
It's not a lot. But your first 7-figure client as a coach is so huge because that's the social proof that people can tie to. Is like, hey, this person can now speak on my behalf and say, hey, he's good. This is what he did. This is what it meant to my business. And I think, again, to tie it back into what you were saying, we got to stop looking at just, I'm paying somebody this amount. And look at our lives ourselves. Turn that mirror, mental health. Let's go mental health. Turn that mirror back on yourself and say, am I worth it? Am I worth taking the sacrifice and risk now that could change the latter half of my entire life? Thanks. If I'm going to spend this much on Louis, Fendi, Prada, booths, bottles, Ace of Spade, whatever, trips,
all these things,
all this, like, how can I make my life better here where I'm at every day?
Instead of trying to escape.
And so,
and that's deep.
And you in this every day though. Like you seeing this every day. Every day you hate this. Every day you hate where you live. Every day you hate your job. Every day you hate your kids. Like
it's you trying to escape without a plan. It's not gonna work.
Not gonna work. God, somebody know.
Whew.
So just a question from like, I guess with your experience with your clients and stuff, do you who was one of the first, I don't know if you're at liberty to give us exact names, maybe you could tell us the story, but like, can you tell us one of your first clients that had like that break that it was like, cool,
my brother,
this can be my social proof?
My brother, he right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Like, so like Alpha Choice Construction, Jimmy Bodies was one of my like first clients that broke through. We celebrated him 2 weekends ago. His first huge year, 7-figure year. I can talk about him because this is my brother. I can talk about
him. We're about to get Jimmy on the pod soon. I just want y'all to know he literally in the building with us.
I can talk about him. I want to. That's my guy. Like, I think like him, for example, that was so huge to me because it was somebody I really gravitated with. I really rock with. I can say that I met that was right here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I think every entrepreneur has different avenues of what they do, like whatever. And he has a lot of things going to, but when you lock in again, like we were talking about, this is my thing. This is what I do. Like that is so huge for individuals. And I know now even him, like he's so about giving back. Like he's huge. He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He's like really huge with giving back. And it's just dope to be able to be a part of somebody else's journey. Like we always talk about like people's successes and whatnot. And we kind of talk about it from a sense, like I can't wait for mine. But I think as a generation, as the people, we have to really celebrate those who do it the right way, who took the steps, who went the harder route. I forgot what that song was called, Harder Way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Therese Deshawn, like who went the harder way with it and they did it. Like celebrate those type of kings. Like those are the people we want to tout. So I can definitely say him. I'm one of the first. And I have like, I got 3 or 4 that's in the, they on the way. It's like they on the way. We got to see first if this shutdown is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen.
I'm waiting. I'm kind of waiting on that stuff too. I'm trying to see.
I don't know. I think it's going to be January for Texas.
Y'all governor was kind of big talking. He said, "Man, Texas open, man. I don't know what y'all talking about."
I don't know, man. We gotta see. Like I said, I got a couple folks in the cut that's like tinkering on it. They about there, but like the pandemic and shutdown and stuff too. That's kind of like looming over it as well. If they're not in the digital space, like if they're not in the digital space.
If you was digital when the pandemic started, man, that's.
Yeah, but then too, you look at like construction industry, boom.
Really?
Logistics, boom. Yeah.
In logistics, I can believe it.
Logistics, boom. Like when everybody was rushing and taking all the food off the shelves at the grocery stores and stuff.
Got to get more in the stove.
Man, people who had them trucks, people who were doing Amazon freight, like, man, I know a couple of people who were doing Amazon and then freight and then Amazon with the drop shipping. Who doing the drop shipping part too?
Yeah.
FBA. Yeah, I was trying to get it now. I couldn't get it out. But like FBA, I know one in particular in Charlotte, North Carolina, that like boom, when the pandemic hit, but before they couldn't hit a lick.
That's crazy how that opportunity will be born out of like, a bad situation.
I forgot who it was that said, I think it was Sun Tzu, The Art of War. It's one of my favorite books.
Man, that's a great book.
It's one of my favorites, man. I think it was Sun Tzu that was talking about in every distress. It depends on what version you're listening to the book. And it's a hard read. Every distress is an opportunity or something like that. Like in every victory, there's still some loss. Like look at how many people that we know who are celebrities or whatever, and they pop, but then somebody passed away or something. Like it's just a part of the season, man. It's a part of life.
I like how you bring it back to that, bro. Just it goes, everything is seasons. Cause that, like, even with that, like you saying, whenever it's a great loss, it's like this. I done said this before. It's like whenever you take a L, and then you notice the story of successful people, if they took an L, it's usually a big L right before like their greatest W. And then a great W just propels them to heights that like they ain't never seen before. It's all just a season.
And you gotta rock with the season. Like I would argue, I was telling my wife this, like my wife is my best friend, she's my business partner, she's everything to me. And we were having a conversation about like positioning during COVID. Like how you position yourself right now in 2020 is going to determine what your life is going to look like 60 years from now. 60 years from now, you're going to look back, God allows you to live that long, and look at 2020 and what you did from this entire year. You guys realize that we still have another 30 days left in this year? The world has literally slowed down.
Real talk,
literally
bro.
slowed down. You didn't do what during this time? You've been inside that. If you really been quarantined, we know everybody ain't been quarantined, but like if you really been on it like you supposed to be on it,
you should have learned something.
You should learn something. You should have read about 25, 30 books by now. You should have been on BWR every day trying to figure out your life so you can live better. Like whatever. Like the world has been slowed down and the keys have truly, the reins of your life have truly been put in your hands. You're working from home. For most people, you don't even have that many wrap-up calls or have to tune in for my corporate folks. Like you're literally at home. You literally had to build an in-home office. How many people before COVID had an in-home office? Everybody has an in-home office now, regardless of the fact. Like, you got to look at it and be like, okay, what did I do? What accountability did I take for my future going forward during this time period? So, I mean, I think that's just my thing. Whether it's another shutdown, whether we move into another recession, like him 500 been talking about positioning yourself to be recession-proof, get your credit right, get your trade lines going, get into things that no matter what are recession-proof businesses that are, regardless, it's going to make money. Where people eat, where people stay, commodities, investing in those commodities. Like, I think there's just some simple bare bones things if we slow down and just kind of look at it.
Slow down, look at it, pay attention, man. It's too much opportunity out here. This pandemic, like my boy Ty Millie say, it ain't just a pandemic, it's a bandemic. It was like a large, great transfer of wealth that occurred. Yeah. Like, just even thinking, like with coronavirus, you making me think, like, wherever shit went, when shit hit the fan on March 23rd, I think that's the specific date, and the market hit the bottom. If you would have bought something, anything at that time, like, chances are you probably would have doubled your money just like that, the way how shit went. And that was just with having a little bit of foresight and making a move in just this time. I think about next year, 2 years, 10 years from now, if you kept on to them same things. Apple went down to $100 a share again in the middle of this pandemic.
Who've gotten rich just off of Tesla. Never invested in the stock market before, but they invested in Tesla and got rich.